Hey, it's me again. Thanks for watching the live streams that I'm doing on social media these days. And I really hope you're getting something out of it. Definitely let me know if you have questions and comments by putting questions and comments in the comment section below. It's on every single one of the platforms where I'm live streaming right now, and I do read those and I do reply to them. And that's how I'm getting some really great ideas from you guys. So today, what I want to talk about is a question that came up recently. What's the best resolution for your video? Because these days, our cameras can do amazing stuff. So many cameras, cell phone cameras that we keep in our pocket can capture 4K video. So what is the best resolution? Well, that's going to depend on what it is that you're doing with the video, who's your target market, but I'm going to recommend that you don't do 4K video. Here's what I'm thinking. With 4K video, those files are big. They are 4 times as big as standard HD video. So you don't necessarily need that, especially since most people are consuming the video that you're putting out there, whether it's on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, wherever you're putting your videos out. It's very unlikely that somebody is consuming it by watching it on a giant big screen TV in their home or office. They're more than likely watching it on a little smartphone, or they're watching it on their computer screen. And HD is plenty of resolution, but probably you don't even need HD resolution. So let me talk to you about a couple different options. With 4K video, the only reason that you would do that is because you want the flexibility of being able to push in or zoom in during the editing process and zoom in a lot. You could even zoom in a little here. I can show you this real quick. I've got zoom capability on my live stream. So you could zoom in just a little bit on your editing on standard HD resolution. But when you have 4K, you can zoom way in. So you could be set really wide, and then you can zoom way into something close up. It just allows a little bit more flexibility. But for most people, for most of the things that they're doing with most of their on-camera work, you don't need that super high resolution. So I recommend, for speed in editing and for ease of video capture, I recommend HD. Now, there are 2 kinds of HD. The first HD that ever came along was 720, 1080, sorry, 1080 wide and 720 tall. So 1080 by 720. And that was the first HD. And then they bumped it to 1920 wide by 1080 tall. So 1920 by 1080. So that, oh, and the other one wasn't 1080 wide. It was 12, I think it was 1280. So the low definition, high definition, the low resolution high definition was 1280 by 720. And the standard high definition is 1920 by 1080. So just shoot at HD. Standard high definition, 1920 by 1080. That's called 1080p resolution. Also, you just don't need the 4K unless there's something that you're, and by the way, I figure if you're watching this video and you're curious about resolution, you probably are not doing super high resolution stuff. Now, if you put out 4K, because YouTube just upgraded what they're allowing you to do and what they're allowing you to see on your smartphone. So they're actually streaming potentially 4K video to smartphones these days. Who cares? I mean, maybe there are a handful of people that care about that, but the most important thing in any video is the audio, just to begin with. Then the next most important thing is that, is the video even watchable? And is it jittery or handheld vertical video, shaky cam? That just drives people crazy when you have stuff like that. Lately, I've seen a lot of people that have their cameras on their desk and they keep bumping their desk and their camera's just shaking. It makes me crazy. But 1080p, back to it, back to the resolution stuff. 1080p, 1920 by 1080. Great resolution. You can do some of that push in during editing, and you can get an awful lot done with 1080p HD video. Until just a few years ago, some of the major national networks were still doing that 1280 by 720 low resolution, high definition video. And you just can't tell. As a consumer watching the finished product, you just can't tell. So I would highly recommend stick with HD video for your video capture, for your editing, stuff like that. Now, when it comes to live streaming, if you have a setup that can easily do HD, you still might not want to do 1080p HD for your live stream. The reason why is because it eats a lot of bandwidth. And what I'm talking about is it's the kind of thing that'll make you jittery and slow down. It'll make your voice go out of sync. If you're streaming a super high definition video, and I'm not even talking about 4K, I'm talking about streaming 1080p. If you're streaming 1080p, the likelihood of you having a bad stream or an interrupted live stream or something go wrong with that live stream is higher. So what I generally recommend is 720p HD for the video stream. It's still plenty of resolution for your live stream resolution. And it also won't eat up all of that wireless bandwidth, and it won't screw up as often or as completely as streaming standard HD. So I hope all that makes sense. As I said at the beginning, what matters is go with HD, 1080p HD, 1920 by 1080 HD video for recorded stuff, and for live streams, go with the lower resolution 720p HD, which is 1280 by 720. So I hope that helps. I kind of wish I could edit this because I messed up and said that the low resolution was something that it wasn't in the beginning part of this live stream, but I screwed up, and that's the cost of doing live stream videos. Thanks for tuning in to my live stream videos, which I do every single weekday. Tips and tricks to help my friends be great on camera.